Hey kids, how do you feel about the concept of punishment? I'm not talking about when your mom took away your Nintendo for misbehaving when you were 9, or when your sister got grounded for 2 weeks for trying to drown you in your family's above ground pool. I'm talking about the big stuff and what it says about the nature of humanity. Does humanity's penchant for punishment make us no better than animals? Let's find out.
Punishment is a key part of human society as a whole. We might not think about it frequently, but it's always there subconsciously. When we see someone do a bad thing, we want something bad to happen to them. It could be jail time, demanding a fine be paid, or even the death sentence in extreme cases. And these punishments were much worse throughout history, and are still much worse in some parts of the world. But what about the system that facilitates it? We call it a justice system, but what's so just about it? If just is a measure of moral superiority, then I believe our system is severely lacking in justice. As Friedrich Nietzsche puts it in his book The Dawn of Day, punishment, a strange thing our punishment, does not cleanse the criminal, it is no atonement. On the contrary, it pollutes worse than the crime does. Nietzsche's point, and mine as well, is that the majority of punishment, including lawful punishment, there's no atonement in it, only some kind of payback or revenge, to make a person suffer because they had done the same to another. But why? Many would argue that it's meant to be a deterrent, something to discourage others from doing the same. However, this doesn't quite work as intended. Making an act illegal and having repercussions for that act isn't innately wrong, but threatening 10 years of jail time isn't actually that much more of a deterrent than community service and the threat of police monitoring the perpetrator to make sure they don't do it again. There's no proof that one of those options causes a lower crime rate than the other, and yet one is productive and one is destructive. So, what am I saying here? I'm saying that punishment, in the form at which it's not just atonement, is an evil act driven by a more basic animalistic urge for vengeance, a purely destructive tendency that does nothing. It doesn't accomplish anything other than to make people suffer. Some parts of the so-called justice system illustrate this clearly, but before we get into that, we should compare and contrast human nature with that of animals to determine if punishment is truly an animalistic urge or a much more human evil born from society rather than nature.
Cats, wolves, orcas, honey badgers, and humans. What do they all have in common? Bet you didn't guess that they all hunt for sport. There are many animals that we are closer to in nature than we might think. Animals don't actually have prison structures within their own animal cultures, excluding the hit YA series Warrior Cats, of course. They don't set out to create a system that punishes instead of rehabilitates, since they don't really have the capacity for evil. This is to say, you need a certain level of higher thinking to be able to differentiate the right and wrong. This is also not to say that dolphins and orcas are not capable of evil. Certainly, animals can do things that we see as wrong. We are disturbed when we see animals slaughter each other or kill each other's young, yet for them, this is just a means of survival, dominance, and reproduction, not just an innate need to commit crimes. Humans, for the most part, in the developed world, do not have risks of these needs not being met. The crimes that are committed on our levels are more of subjects of cruelty. So when you think about it, if a wolf kills another wolf's young, this is nature. But if a man kills another man's infant daughter, yikes. Animal systems do not have prisons because their crimes aren't crimes. They are survival. How far are we really from animals? Human nature is changeable and unstable. In Kafka's report, he describes the humans who captured him as crude, moving heavily and slowly, and yet not unpleasant. Human nature itself can be taught. The men on the ship teach him to shake hands, spit, smoke a pipe, and even eventually drink and speak. But are these things enough to make someone human? Even so, it seems that being taught human nature is also a fight against our animalistic traits. Take a look at this quote from page 4 of our reading. He would sometimes hold his burning pipe against my skin until it started smoldering in some place that I found hard to get to, but then he would pull it out again with his giant kindly hand. He wasn't angry at me. He could see that we were both fighting on the same side against the ape characteristics, and that the brunt of it, in any case, was for me to bear. Well, that's nice. But is it so different from the way that we see animals now? It's not uncommon for people to treat a misbehaving dog with a rolled up newspaper, or to lock them up in a cage until they see fit. In summary, human nature is not a solid state. It's unstable and changeable, and one overcoming their animalistic nature is not as certain as one thinks it is. In Kafka's case as an ape, that was only achievable through punishment.